All right, let's dive into a story about a business ecosystem that is, well, it's incredibly strange and it's all built around one single, very powerful idea. So let's get right into it. So, first up, you've got this company, NKCS Holdings. You've probably never heard of them. And honestly, at first glance, they just look like your standard consulting firm. Then there's their partner, Use LLC. They handle things like HR and personnel. Still sounds pretty normal, right? Okay, but this is where things start to get a little weird. We're talking about a kindergarten. A kindergarten that says it teaches business skills to 2-year-olds. Yeah, and if you thought that was strange, how about this? A therapy clinic that claims it can heal your actual cells using special sound frequencies. So, what in the world connects a consulting firm, thousands of lawyers, a kindergarten for toddlers, and a sound therapy clinic? I mean, on the surface, these things have absolutely nothing in common, but they are all part of one single, kind of bewildering web of companies. And today, we are going to untangle it. So here's the thing. The answer to this whole puzzle, it isn't a what, it's a who. One man, Katsuya Niyahara. You might also hear him called Ginjo. He is the absolute center, the node connecting this entire universe of companies. And he describes this split personality himself. On one side, you've got this hard-charging business manager running a whole empire of companies. And on the other, a public servant, someone who works in schools, in kindergartens, even in family court. It begs the question, right? How does one person build and then live inside a world this complex? Well, to really get why he built this massive, sprawling network, you first have to understand the absolutely brutal adversity that made him who he is. In a really raw, personal interview from 2013, Nihara described his childhood as, and this is a direct quote, a living hell. We're talking about abuse from his father and just relentless bullying from other kids. It got so bad that at one point he was actually hospitalized because someone hit him in the head with a rock. I mean, look at this path. It's just a wild, dramatic story. To escape all that trauma as a kid, he ends up joining a biker gang. And then he witnesses a friend get shot and killed right in front of him. That moment, that was the shock that changed everything. It became his turning point. He quit the gang, threw himself into social work, and then, somehow, pivots into the corporate world. And he doesn't just get by, he becomes one of the top IT salesmen, #1 in Japan, #4 in the world. And then, in 2020, he founds this whole NKCS network. And this quote, man, it just perfectly explains his core mission. See, he'd tried business before and failed. He had to shut down an earlier company because he just didn't have the know-how in things like law or accounting. So he made a promise to himself. He would build the kind of supportive system that he never had, for himself and for anyone else who needed it. Okay, so here's the crucial part. He took that very personal mission and turned it into this unique and frankly incredibly complex business structure. At the heart of it all, the engine that makes this whole thing run is a massive network. And I'm not exaggerating. We are talking about more than 3,000 experts, professionals, and researchers. And look, this isn't just a handful of consultants. This is a full-blown brain trust. You've got lawyers, doctors, professors from top universities, social workers, accountants. I mean, you name the profession and they're probably in this network. This brain trust of people, that is the real asset here. That's the core of the entire enterprise. So, to manage all this, he built the business on 5 specialized pillars or holding groups. You've got one for regular for-profit companies, another one for nonprofits, schools and hospitals, one to deal with the government, a research division that works with universities, and finally, one to manage all the property and ideas. This structure, it lets the network help pretty much any kind of client you can think of. It's basically designed to be a one-stop shop for solving any problem. All right, so that's the blueprint. But how does it actually work? Well, what it creates is this living, breathing ecosystem that really does touch almost every corner of society. At the center of it all, you've got 3 main organizations making things happen. First, NKCS Holdings. That's the main strategy and consulting hub. Then there's Use LLC, which he co-founded with his partner, Shizuka Nakaoka. They handle all the people stuff: HR, education, operations. And finally, you have the JOCB Association, which is like a matchmaker, connecting small businesses and entrepreneurs to all the resources in this huge network.
And then, all around that core, you have this whole constellation of affiliate companies, at least 26 of them, plus tons of partners. And hey, remember those businesses from the very beginning of this explainer? Well, here they are. You've got Hero Kindergarten with its elite education method. You've got Manners International with its sound vibration therapy. It's a whole web of specialized companies that allows them to offer a custom solution for literally almost anything.
So when you put this all together, what is this? Is it just a business? Is it some kind of social project? Or are we looking at something completely new? I mean, when you compare it to a traditional corporation, the difference is just stark. Instead of a rigid hierarchy, you have this fluid, interconnected network. Instead of a typical workforce of employees, you have this massive network of partners and experts. And the mission? It's not just about profit. It's about this idea of total, lifelong support.
And that phrase right there, support from the cradle to the grave, that's pulled directly from their own internal planning documents. Think about that for a second. The ambition is just immense. They want to build an organization that can support a person or a business through every single stage of life, from birth all the way to their legacy.
So in the end, what Katsuya Niyahara has built is this incredible hybrid. It's part capitalism, part social welfare, and it's all born from his own personal story of trauma and redemption. But it really does leave us with a massive question for the future. Is this hyper-networked, deeply personal ecosystem, is this the future of how business is done? Or is it a fragile empire so completely built on one man's vision that it couldn't possibly survive without him at the center?